Call it, Rick.
That joker that loud, boy.
Oh!
All right, let's get something popping.
Oh! Oh! Ah! I turn it up. What you being quiet for? I'm like, we driving a big old Lincoln. Oh, you gotta play that again, man. You gotta play that again, man. Woo! Get up. Man, turn it up. Why you got it so low, brother? Turn that thing up, man. Ain't nobody here with the studio audience. Ain't no cap out of it. Now we get feedback, bro. What I'm gonna do with this guy, man?
Keep where it's at. I know what I'm
What
doing.
I'm gonna do with this guy?
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. See, when you trying to change what I'm doing,
I ain't changing nothing, man. I ain't changing nothing. How about that? I ain't changing nothing. I got my do song. I got my do song. Something break out. I know somebody. He come with that thing. Until that motorcycle come up with that goddamn Nina. Hey, man. I'm getting a lot of feedback, bro.
there you go. Go ahead.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Joaquin Thompson with the Daily Bread Radio Show. Glad to be back on the air. Glad to be here again. Got some awesome stuff. I'm out of breath already. I got to start working out.
Yeah. Don't take long.
Don't take long, man. Shoot. I thought
Bounce around
I
all
thought I
you
was in shape.
You bounce around all
I
you
thought I was in shape. I can't
Go ahead and bounce around.
I can't do it. I did do. Oh, I'm ready to lay down now. Like, take it.
Yeah, you bounce around.
But hey, welcome to the show. And like we always do, we always like to have a bunch of fun. But we got a bunch of information for you all this evening, and want to make sure we stay on purpose. But one of the things that was in my spirit that we got to get back to, I need to hear that. Before we get going, I need to hear that Marvin Sapp.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Keep going.
We need to get back to the basics. So this song, just to give you all a little history on the show, this is number 24. Let me get my numbers right. 24. This is my 24th episode, and I'm going for 1,000. So for all of you all that's been following me, I've been on my grind, working on this dream. I'm headed towards 1,000, but this is my 24th show. So the 25th one, we going in. We going in. So one of the things I was thinking about this weekend and this week when I was thinking about the topics for the show and things we're going to be talking about, I was like, before I had my jingle or my intro music that was created for the show, I used to always come on with this song. When I first came on the air, the first few shows, before I even got my jingle. So I love the Daily Bread Radio Show jingle because that's just this, musical brand and getting to see things from that standpoint. So I know over time that's going to stand the test of time. But this song right here, man, I got to hear that song so that way I can get back on track, And oh man, so I'm gonna just pause and we're gonna listen to this while we give everybody a chance to get on. Man, no, the flip, the flip to that is, every time I would play it, man, man, like I am now, man, I'll be tearing up because, man, I remember my first show when I played that song, man.
Crying like
I was like, bruh, I had told myself the whole time coming to the studio, I ain't gonna cry. I've been listening to this music. I'm good. And man, as soon as he turned it on, and I listened to them words, man, it just resonated with me. I had to take 5, man, and just let it out, boy, because that's man, it's no truer than that. Stronger, wiser. I made it, and I'm 24 episodes in, man, and I was thinking about 24. 24 don't sound like a big number though, really, right? Mm-hmm. But you know how we do on the Daily Bread Radio, it's a big number depending on how you look at it, right? Because think about this. The NFL regular season is how many weeks? 16 weeks. 16. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So I done did a season plus the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm still going. So 24, I say 24, that ain't a lot. Still 24 playing. Is a lot. What if somebody slap you? Mm-hmm. Then 24 seem like a lot then, but a whole lot, man. I'm just thankful, man. So, you know, it's all in context. And that's one of the things about this show. I always like to keep things in context. So 24 for me. The 25th show is going to be outrageous, man. I got to go get me a new jumpsuit. I don't know what I'm going to do, man, but we're going to have a cake. Hint. I'm shouting at my wife. Tanya's going to need a 25. I'm about to say 25 years. We're going to need a 25th episode cake. Mm-hmm. And that's big because, you know, in TV, if you do 100, you usually have to do 100 shows in order to go into syndication, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. You just have to do 100 shows. So when I hit 100, then I'll be in syndication. Mm-hmm. So check that out. So y'all only got 75 more shows, and then your boy will be in syndication. So just stay tuned, stay with me. I appreciate y'all because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be in here doing it. No, I'm lying. I would still be in here doing it because I was like, if it's just one person, and I got 3 kids and a wife, so that's 4. So if them 4 just show up every week, I just keep talking, but they don't want to keep hearing from me. So I appreciate everybody joining. Kevin, I see you. I appreciate you, dog. You solid, bro. So you always, you know, you and your wife, always supporting. And I saw my cousin on, Alicia. I appreciate you as well. So we're gonna jump into this week's show because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, a lot of stuff I want to get into that I think is going to be of importance of the listening audience. So a couple of things, and I usually run through my topics, things that I've been thinking about throughout the week that I want to touch on, and then, I'll touch on those. And before we get into the topics, this is something that I want you all, I got to take my hat off, man, when I'm reading my word. One of the things I want to do is give you all some food, some soul food, some real soul food, because one of the things that you can do on a daily basis is, I know a lot of times people say you should read your Bible and, you know, get familiar with it, but, you know, one of the things that's worked for me just to keep me opening the book every day is I will read Proverbs, the proverb that coincides with the day of the month. So I start off on the first, and I just go, that's probably my thing over there in the other studio. And then I go to first, second, third, and just keep it going like that. But every month that I'm reading, I learn something new. And I've been doing this close to a year now. But I just want to share something with you all because a lot of times, like I say, stuff that's in the Bible is irrefutable. You can't be like, oh, I don't think, it's in the book. So you ain't got to take it from me. Just, you know, make note of it, and then you can go and check it out in your Bible. And I just think it applies. So as I'm reading things and I'm doing the show and I'm thinking about the show, then, you know, I always say, okay, this would be good for the listening audience. So if check this out, Proverbs chapter 5, verse 12 through 14. And listen to this. Listen to this. It says, and say, quote, how I have hated instruction, and my heart despised correction. I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to those who instructed me. I was on the verge of total ruin in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Bruh, did you hear that? That's in the Bible. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. No, man, you ain't hear that. Bruh, you didn't. Mm-hmm. This is in the Bible, man. Mm-hmm. This is in the Bible. This ain't me telling you you're not listening. Mm-hmm. And one of the things about the show I always talk about is I don't want people to come on and listen to me be like a talking head, right? Like, oh, he just throwing all this stuff and, be entertaining and jump around, whatever. But I want you all to have some real food that you can walk away from this thing and say, you know what? That was pretty deep. I need to start working on X or whatever that is. So I'm just so that way, because I know we still got some more people. Michelle, I appreciate you for joining. Wap and Tracy, I appreciate you all. Give me a call, man, so you can plug your show. Call in, 678. Put the number in the chat. Man, yeah. My producer. Hey, man, what's your name, bro? We've been working together since February. What's your name, man?
Mufisula.
Okay, I'm working here with Boo. What's your name?
Mufisula.
I'm working here with Mufisula.
With him.
I've been working with this joke. You gotta work with somebody like a long time. You like, I don't even know the whole name. Like, what's all right. Don't ask me what your name is. But yeah, check this out again. Proverbs. This is serious. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 12. And say, quote, how I have hated instruction and my heart despised correction, with an exclamation point. I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to those who instructed me. Another exclamation. I was on the verge of total ruin and in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Now, if you don't understand that, I heard that in one of T.I. songs. If you don't understand that, you don't understand English. That right there is just, and Solomon, from my understanding, wrote Proverbs. And he was the wisest man that ever lived. So if he's saying you hated instruction, and the thing about Proverbs is all about what? Getting what? Wisdom and understanding. The whole book of Proverbs is just about that. And then he personifies it by calling it she in different parts of Proverbs. So I ain't going to go real deep, but just check that out. Proverbs 5, verse 12 through 14, and see if that, will be something that you can use in your life or be in your spirit. So I see you on. My wife, Tanya Thompson. Love you, girl. Appreciate you. That's the rock of the family, TT. So jumping into this week's topics. So this week, we're going to talk about the proposed tax bill that's put forward by 45. Notice I said 45. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that name. I don't want Facebook to shut us down. So proposed tax bill by 45's administration. And one of the things that's important about this, when I was reading about it, I was thinking about the Daily Bread radio show. And one of the things that we got to do, we have to do a better job in keeping our eyes open. That's a popular song from the movie Get Out, Stay Woke. That's serious. We got to pay attention to what's going on, because this proposed tax impacts everybody. So I'm going to tell you all about that. Oh, man, don't make me do it. Goddamn. Where I'm from, I got a special treat for everybody from Duval, too. Y'all ain't gonna see this one coming. I got a special treat for y'all this evening. But so we're gonna talk about the proposed tax bill. We're gonna talk about Derek Jeter and his purchase of the Miami Marlins. Check that out. Derek Jeter and his purchase, past tense, purchase of the Miami Marlins. We're gonna have a giveaway. I was thinking about something this week, and I'm always thinking about the Daily Bread radio show listening audience. And I have something for you all this evening. Now, what I have in my hand, this is called Kiplinger's Personal Finance, this magazine, right? It's a monthly publication that comes out, and it talks about all kinds of things related to personal finance. It talks about retirement. It talks about smart money living. It talks about budgets. It talks about investing, living. And this is something that's in every issue. Now, the thing that's important about Kiplinger is right in line with everything that we talk about on the Daily Bread radio show, because what I always talk about is we need to make sure that we're doing our research, we stand on top of things, we're looking at different ways that we can improve our financial life and our financial literacy. So one of the things that I thought about this week, I received an offer, and as soon as I saw the offer, the first thing I thought about was like, wow, that's cool. I'm gonna bring it to the Daily Bread radio show, and we're gonna bless somebody, because this is all about being a blessing, right? So one of the things that we're gonna do this evening, when my producer comes back in the room, he's in the other studio helping, one of our other on-air personalities. But when he gets back in the room, what I'm going to do this evening is we're going to have a giveaway. And what we're going to do on behalf of the Daily Bread radio show, we're going to give away a one-year subscription to Kiplinger's to one of our listening audience. Someone that's listening to us either on dkmradio.com or on Facebook Live. They're going to receive Kiplinger's Personal Finance magazine, and they're going to get a one-year subscription for 2018. So one of the things that we talked about last week was making sure that you start planning for your dreams in 2018. Don't wait until 2018. We are already in October. So October, this is basically how the year ends. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you out. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you out. Just like that. So one of the things that I want you all to do is, because in the business world, we're saying we're in Q4. So in the personal world, guess what? We're in Q4. So all the stuff that you're thinking about doing in 2018, all of the businesses, the budgets, the new you, everything, don't wait and do a New Year's resolution, because that's cliche. Go ahead and take out some time now and start making a change for 2018. Get prepared for 2018, because if you prepare and you plan, then things turn out a whole lot better than if you don't, right? So I want you all to make sure that you take time to do that, so that way you'll be in order when 2018 comes. Because sometimes we plan for things that I would say that are not as important when it comes to our lives. And I want to make sure that you all are on purpose in 2018. So coming up in February will be my 1-year anniversary. I'm going to invite everybody to the studio. We're going to have a live edition in the studio. But we're going to give away that Kiplinger subscription to one of our lucky audience members. And then I also want to talk about something I saw recently, talking about jokes and personal finance and African Americans. Just that mix. And I think I've touched on this before on the show, but last night, getting ready to, because my radar is always open when it comes to personal finance and financial literacy and the radio show, and things that I can bring to you all that would maybe enlighten you or, share some information with you. But last night, literally getting ready to turn the TV off and get into bed, like reaching. Now I'm lying. Look, I'm reaching like I'm about to turn it off like this. We don't even turn it off like this no more, but, got the remote rather, getting ready to turn the TV off. And this comedian was on, and I wasn't watching it. It was just on, because I was in another room doing something else. And as soon as I turned it on, she started doing her skit, and her skit was about personal finance. And she was telling this joke, and I'm going to let you all in on the joke, so that way you could call into the show, 678-381-1973, and let me know, and let the listening audience know if you think this is funny. She's a comedian. That's what she does. That's how I get that. But one of the things that I always want to talk about is this. When is a joke not funny? Right? When is a joke not funny? Like, when there's certain things that we shouldn't joke about. Now, it's a whole lot of material that you can write jokes about, and it's a free country. You write what you want to write, but I think sometimes I want us to get super sensitive to some things. Because you know how some things people can joke with you about, but certain things you give a person that look like, oh, okay. Then they know, like, you ain't joking about that. Nah, we ain't joking about that. We ain't talking about it, right? And I think this is one of those topics. So want to talk about that as well. And then the last topic I want to talk about has to do with something that was in my mind and my spirit that I want to do for some kids in my hometown, Duval County, aka Jacksonville, Florida. So something that I want to do for them. So let me jump right in. Let's start off at the top. The proposed tax bill. Now, if you all haven't been up on, what's happening in the world, I always tell you all this. Don't believe me. Go and do your research. So, New York Times, right? In the New York Times, and you can pick up this copy. This is the Friday, September 29th edition. So this was last week? So in this, I'm reading the New York Times, and 45 is talking about a lot of different things. And in this particular, man, if I could get to it, man, see, if I had a producer, my producer would be, all this would be queued up for me.
Yep.
But either way, and anyway, in this newspaper, what 45 is talking about is the new tax bill, right? So they have a tax bill that they're putting before Congress that in this edition, they got it all laid out. So right here are the proposed new changes. So, and they even broke down how the different changes are going to affect different Americans. Now, one of the things that kind of struck me was the fact that one of the big changes is they want to change listen to this now, they want to change the corporate tax rate, which is currently 35%, and they want to reduce it to 20%. Now, why is that important to the Daily Bread radio show and the Daily Bread radio show listening audience? That's important because of this. One of the biggest things that we advocate on the show is what? Starting a business, having a business, having something that you can call a business. Don't have a hustle, create a business. Get it registered with the Secretary of State and the IRS, file your taxes, have a business. So what does that have to do with 45's proposed tax plan? What that has to do with it is this. When I was reading through the article, they were talking to these two economists, and the economist said the biggest winners in this new tax cut is going to be business owners, small and large. Business owners, small and large, not just individuals, but business owners. And why is that going to be important? That's going to be important because as the tax rate for corporations move down, because you do know you could have your own corporation, not just Apple. You can have you a little lawn service and create you an S Corp, get with your tax attorney or get with your accountant or your attorney or advisor, and you can set up a legal structure that's called an S Corporation, right? You set up your S Corp, now you're a corporation, right? Deemed as a corporation by the IRS, and now guess what happens? You get access to all the benefits of having a corporation. Now, this is right in line with what was reported in the New York Times, and it says most pass-throughs are, listen to this, most pass-throughs are small sole proprietorships currently paying less than a 25% marginal rate, but a few are quite large, which is about 1.7%. Pass-through businesses generate more than 40% of all pass-through income and tax on the top 39.6% rate. So, Sally, we got a caller. Thank you for calling the Daily Bread Radio Show. This is Joaquin. What's your name and where you calling from? Calling from who? Carrie. Hey, man, when you call on this show, man, don't be nervous. Man, you get nervous for, man? We people, man. What's going on? This is my brother. You know what I'm saying? I still owe you a box of cereal and a cereal bowl and a spoon, bro. Nah, man, that's how I do. I ain't never gonna change, bro. I met this brother. This is a short story for y'all. This is the short version. Even if you heard it before, I gotta tell it again because it just kind of brings me back. I meet this brother. I go to college. I leave Jacksonville, go to DC. Meet this brother. Brother's sitting there. I said, hey, man. I said, hey, you got a bowl? Like, we in a dorm, right? I said, hey, man, you got a bowl I can borrow? And he was like, oh, would you give me some cereal? I said, yeah. He said, all right. He said, I got a bowl. I said, hey, you got some cereal? He said, bro, the craziest part about this is a true story. Listen, and I said, hey, man, you got some cereal? He said, oh, yeah, dog, I got a trunk full of stuff, man. Look in that trunk and I said, oh, that's what's up, bro. I said, hey, you got some milk? He said, oh, no, dog. I'm talking about I just met this dude, man. I said, he said, dog. He said, go on in there. He said, yeah, bro, you can get some milk. I said, oh, okay. I said, but he's like, you got a spoon? And that right there is how we started our friendship of 25 plus years or so. So, Gov Wobber, what's going on, man? What's going on? Talk to me. Hey, man.
Just the sharing and the authenticity, right? People don't understand that whatever is inside of them really is ministry, right? And so what you're doing is that you are executing ministry. The word says, go into all the world and preach the gospel, right?
Yeah.
So that's literally what you're doing. I mean, you are literally reaching people all around the world with what's been put on your heart, man. So I just want to applaud you for what you're doing, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot coming from you. And the funny part about that is, you know, you have to condition your mind to believe just that, right? Because sometimes people see more in you than you see in yourself, or they don't understand that internal struggle that you have when you're like, oh man, how am I going to talk about? You know, I still got Joker caught there. I'm old dude, but I'm in a good place, man, and I think that for my people, right? When I say for my people, I think that, you know, I've been blessed in a sense where, you know, my road has been rocky, without a doubt, from a financial standpoint. But here's the thing: you win and you learn. You don't lose. And once I start learning that, like I'm not losing. So what I'm trying to do now is, this is what I call interrogating the universe. So when we read the word and we believe the word, and then we say, okay, what if I could educate 1% of 50 million people? It's 50 million African Americans in this country, right? So if I can get to 1% of 50 million, then I feel like not even 1%, 0.1 of 1%, then I done did my job, right? But if I turn on one person listens to the Daily Bread radio show, hear about the tax cuts, go out, start the S corporation, save them some money, get in the real game, right? Get in the real game, get out the hustle game and get in the real game. Man, I done did my, and I have a ball doing it. So I guess y'all probably can tell I have fun doing this too, and I think it's just, appreciate that, man. I got a producer. I don't even know this brother's name. I've been working on this since February. You know what I'm saying? You might joke being like the next cube. You're like, what is that? I think I know that joker's name is. What's his name? Joe? Oh, Butufala. Hey, man. Hey, man. We definitely do it. But tell man, you and your wife, kudos to you all, too. I take my hat off to you all, man. Tell the listening audience about what you doing, what your wife doing, how they can get in contact. Because I was looking for the show last week, man. About to turn my goddamn car over. I wasn't supposed to be texting and driving, so I pulled into a gas station. And I said, well, what the guy doing? I was like, what is okay. I felt bad. I was like, man, I ain't gonna make the inaugural show. I'm like, what kind of? So just, but tell the people what you're doing, man. What's happening? Tell them what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Tracy and I are relationship strategists, man. So we specialize in premarital preparedness and intramarital improvement, and so many things are all about relationships, right? And
for sure.
Our thesis is that if you're not married, that we want to certainly be examples, and our thesis is that your life is 3x better when you are married, right? And so
sure.
we want to be, I think people look at people like the Obamas with such reverence, right? They look at them, they seem like they have things together, and they're so admired around the world. And the point is that the same thing that you're talking about, that they have challenges, they've had bumps in the road, they have flaws, they're not perfect beings, and so you do the best you can with what you have and what you know, and you keep going, right?
Oh, no
and so our thing is just being an inspiration, being an example, and so we created a business model around that. So people can find us at heathandtracy.com, and all the information is there.
You gonna put that in there?
And our radio show on iTunes.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I was wondering. I was like, wow, why he doing all the talking?
Yeah. But this is my life, so I know how to handle it, right? So it's Joyfully Married After.
Okay.
You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play.
There we go. That's family. And that's what we got to do. We just cross-pollinate, because there's people on my show, I'm sure. Because I've been married 26 years, it'll be 27 coming up.
Yeah.
But I still be like, why? You was right out. Why you ain't just get, I like Coke. I know I'm supposed to be drinking Coke, but I like Coke when I'm eating chicken. I'm like, we going to drink water. I'm like, oh, shoot, there we go. And then later on, I'm like, but that's my ace right there. TT is, they don't come no better than that. They don't come no better than that. But we're going to have to tune in to you, man. I appreciate the love, the support, man. Appreciate the cereal, the milk, and the bowl, and the spoon. How about that? How about that, bro?
Take care, Joaquin.
Hey, y'all have a good one, man. All right. So, that's that right there. Now, we was talking about the tax cut. Now, and I was reading you all some of the excerpt, but check this out. It says, lower the corporate rate while eliminating some taxes. The plan would lower the corporate tax rate to 20% from 35% and eliminate some business deductions and credits. The proposal says that the deduction for domestic production would no longer be necessary because of the low rates, and it envisions repeal of other business credits. Now, what I would say to you is I would go out and do a little Google search on this, because the thing about it is, and I know we're getting kind of short on time, so I'm not going to go through everything, but the biggest thing is this: know what bracket that you're in now and figure out how you can play the game and create you an S corporation and have all your money just pass through that, so you're not paying a personal tax rate, but you're being taxed at a corporate rate, which is lower than your personal tax rate. And just to give you an example, right now, if you earn between $37,950 and $91,500, your tax rate is what? 25%. But if you go out and start your S corporation and you have your S corp, what's going to be your tax rate? 20%. So just a little food for you. It's a full article right here, New York Times. Make sure you go and check that out. Now, just so that way we can stay on purpose and look at our time, keep our time on point. The next caller. So this is how we're going to do this. We have the Kiplinger and my producers back in play, right? So the next caller number one, what we're going to do is the next person, if you want to get Kiplinger, give us a call, 678-381-1973. Give us a call and say, man, I want that magazine. Just call in, and that's the phrase that's the phrase that pays. Man, I want that magazine. So give us a call, let us know. Yeah, you got to say that, because if you call in here and you don't say the phrase that pays, and I just said the phrase that pays 3 times, man, I want that magazine. Call in, and we're going to hook you up with a 2018 Kiplinger Personal Finance magazine. You're going to get 12 editions. So the next caller that calls into the show, we're going to bless you with a Kiplinger free subscription for 2018. So give us a call, 678-381-1973. Next thing I want to talk about, Derek Jeter. Now, we just talked about LeBron James, so I'm going to be real short on the Derek Jeter one. Just talked about LeBron James. Just talked about Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL. Do your research. 70 to 80% of the players within 3 years, that's 36 months, within 3 years of ending their careers in their various professional sports, baseball, basketball, football, within 36 months, 80% are insolvent, meaning they are broke, right? Derek Jeter, Hall of Fame shortstop, New York Yankees, World Series champion, World Series MVP. He gets out of the game, and what does he start doing? He starts planning. Now, I was listening to the interview. He said as soon as he retired, he said for whatever reason, like he's a Yankee through and through, right? He bleeds pinstripes. But he said for whatever reason, when he retired from the game, he was thinking about buying a team. And for some reason, he kept thinking about the Miami Marlins. That was in his mind's eye. He said, I just kept thinking about the Miami Marlins. He said, I kept thinking about it. Lo and behold, puts a group together, and now his business group purchased the Miami Marlins. He already said, hey, we're going to have some changes. We're going to be revamping the team. He said, but even though we're revamping the team, we're not going to make any excuses for losing, because I believe in winning. But the biggest story is what? We have to put ourselves in a strong position so that way we are in position to take advantage of opportunities. Now, his counterparts that he played with, a lot of his counterparts that he played with, not only would they not have the financial strength to bring to the table to purchase a professional franchise, a lot of them are struggling with just making it day to day. So the Derek Jeter purchase of the Miami Marlins is always a bigger picture behind the things that we see in the media, but just think about that from a personal standpoint. So if he bought the Miami Marlins, he didn't put up all of his money, so that way he had to bet the house, bet the cars and his quality of life and things. He just got into a financially strong position and then partnered with some other people that are in financially strong position. And that's what I want for our 50 million people in the U.S. that's controlling $1.1 trillion. So we got more than enough money to get strong with. I just want us to get strong. Don't forget about the Kiplinger subscription. You got to call in with the phrase it pays. 678-381-1973. Say the phrase it pays, which is what? Man, I want that magazine.
You gotta say it right.
You got to say it right.
Say it right.
Man, give me that book.
No. Yeah, you said it with emphasis last time. Man.
Give
Give me that, man.
me that book, magazine, something. Give me something. Give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. So we talked about the proposed tax bill. We talked about Derek Jeter. We talked about the Kiplinger subscription. Let's talk about these jokes. Like I said, last night was turning off my TV, and this young lady came on, and literally I was cutting the TV off, and then what she said, it stopped me like mid turn off. It told me like stop my thumb. My thumb was like on the way down, and this is what she said. The people were already laughing. They was ah. She said, "Oh yeah, when white men leave, they leave wills. When black men leave, they leave bills." And everybody, just huge white artists, they just cried. They were showing them. They just ah. And I was like, I had my hand on the remote. I took my hand off. I said, "Wait a minute. Let me see what she's talking about." I took my phone out and started taping her. I would play it on here, but she was using some language that I can't use on the Daily Bread radio show, but I'm gonna give you the gist of it. She just went. She started there and just went into how black families have fundraisers when they, family members pass away, and we fry fish and have car washes, and even after we raise all that money, we still don't have enough money to. We have enough money to have a funeral, but we don't have enough to purchase the plot. Right? Now, it is some truth to that. It's some truth to that, right? But it's like, it's just certain things that we shouldn't, I think we shouldn't joke about, because when you joke about certain things, what it does is you give your power away, and you give other people the authority or the permission to joke about it as well. And I don't think it's a joking matter. All black men don't leave bills. All black families don't have fundraisers when people pass away. So just kind of, again, brought me back to the show. We need to make sure that we get our house in order, what we call getting our house in order. And getting our house in order is understanding that all of us have an expiration date on this earth plane, right? So we have an expiration date, and we know that we're going to be good stewards of the resources that the Creator has given to us to manage. Then at that point, what we need to do is, one of the things we need to do is plan for that. Plan for when we leave, wills, trust, estate plan, and things of that nature. Oh, I don't have a lot of stuff. Don't matter. If you have somebody that you want to make sure is taken care of, or that all of your affairs are handled in an orderly fashion, you need to do some estate planning as well. So listening to that young lady, it just kind of, I guess, struck a chord with me, because I was like, I'm tired of us joking about not having. I'm tired of us talking about, oh, that ain't no big deal. Our credit, marry a white woman or marry a white man, then you're going to have good credit. Like, nah, why can't we marry a black woman or a black man and have good credit? I mean, so we need to, but it's up to us, because certain other nationalities, they don't even joke like that. Like, if they heard a joke like that, it would be like an alarm would go off, like, whoop, was that anti-Semitic? Is that racist? Is that? But sometimes we just sit back and we take a passive stance on it. Then it gives the person the ability, especially when it's us saying it, they laugh at it too. It's like, ain't that funny about that? Ain't that funny about being broke? Because broke is really not about how much money you have. Broke is a mindset. Broke is a mindset and a place to be, because it has nothing to do with, how much you got in the bank or what your finances is, because you can always come up with something to make some money. But it starts up here. It starts with your mindset. So you want to make sure, Elaine, I see you just joining. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's my god sister down out of Yulee in Fernandina. I appreciate you joining. Give us a call, 678-381-1973. We're giving away a free subscription to Kiplinger's Personal Finance. And the only thing you got to do is, when you call in, say the phrase it pays. Say, man, give me that book. So nobody ain't calling, so I guess if nobody don't claim it, hey, you can't say, what'd you say?
Give it to the producer.
I give it to the producer. Okay, give it to the producer. Now somebody calling. I got faith. Look, I got the book right in front of me. I got faith. Somebody gonna call and get this book. But let's stop joking about stuff like that, because now people that's in our generation, a lot of 50, 45, 55. Now we have an added responsibility, which is the seed that's behind us. So if you got kids, grandkids, niece, nephew, anything that's behind you, anything or anybody that's behind you, then you need to make sure. I told you. But this is Joaquin with the Daily Bread Radio Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Duval.
Where you going, Duval? What's up?
Give me my stuff.
No, wait a minute. Okay, we got another caller. You got to say the phrase it pays now. What's the phrase it pays? Man, give me that book.
Hey, man, give me that book, man.
Uh-oh, we got two callers on. This is Joaquin with the Daily Bread Radio Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm calling from Northville.
Oh, how you doing, Kathy? And we got
Yeah,
Anthony.
I'm great. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. So, hey, we got 2 callers on, and I got 1 magazine. So now the question becomes: so, Kathy, when you calling in, do you have a question, concern, or did you want to get this free subscription?
I want to get a free subscription.
Okay.
Give it to Kathy. Give it to her.
You know I was gonna test you, real. You know, Kathy, you know you're on with a minister. I was gonna see if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see if he really tending the flock. You see?
Hey, boy,
You can go hang up. We'll talk to you later, man. No, I'm messing with you, Skilly. Hey, we got another call. So, Kathy, do this for me.
Okay.
Do this for me. Call into the office. The office number is 770. No, better yet, I'm gonna make it easy for you. No, I'm gonna make it easy for you.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna make it easy for you. I'm gonna give you my
Well, can I
email.
come pick up tomorrow or something?
Nah, we have to send it in. So what I'll do
So
is,
you got that in? Okay.
yeah, send us an email at Daily Bread Radio Show. Daily Bread Radio Show at yahoo.com.
Oh, okay.
And just put your information in because we have to put your name and address on it, and I don't want to, have that floating around. So just send me that, and I'll
Okay.
send it in because the little card is here, and then you'll get
Oh,
12 issues of Kiplinger's Personal Finance, and you'll be able to get your finances back in order, or just learn some new things. How about that?
okay, cool. That's
Okay.
great.
Well, thank you for calling in. We got some other callers on, and and thanks for listening to the show, and thanks for the support.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. This is Joaquin with the Daily Bread Radio Show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Aquila, and I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Hey, Aquila, what's going on from Brooklyn? What you got?
Listen, I wasn't call you man, but that's Mr. Thompson. I need that Kipplinger magazine.
Okay. Kathy just called in, so
Is it too late?
it might be just a little too late. We might be able to do a 2-for-1, right? So I'm gonna have to look at the little
2 for
card.
1?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the little
Yeah.
card and make sure that I can get you a copy.
'Cause I want to learn about that personal finance and saving 2% and all that information.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I want to get my finances in order.
You want to plan and dream for 2018, right?
And big dreams.
Big dreams in
Bigger than
2018.
bigger than I could possibly do. I only need God to help me.
Okay. So we can definitely
I
get
want
you.
those kind of dreams.
Okay, we can definitely do that. We'll work that out, and we'll make sure that we get you all of the information. And you can send me your email information to the Daily Bread Radio Show at yahoo.com. Daily Bread Radio Show at yahoo.com, and then I'll make sure that you get a subscription as well to Kiplinger, Personal Finance Magazine.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for the support.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye. Duval, you still on there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man, I knew you were waiting your turn. You said, "Well, I ain't gonna get the magazine." What's Hey, I got something else for you. Hey, I got something. Hey, Duval, can you see your computer? You on the phone or you watching it on the computer, man?
No, I'm on the phone.
You on the phone, so you can't see the computer then.
No,
Hey, now right here, that right there. Well, you can't see, but I got something I'll put up for you, man. But you got a question? You got a question or a comment?
I got a comment.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, man. You said some powerful stuff, and you was right. It boils down to the mindset. And there's a model that I'm trying to live by is this. When you change the way that you see things, the things you see change.
Ooh. Let me write that
I
down.
remember we touched on that last week when we talked off the air, and that's the key. It's your mindset. Once your mindset can be changed, can be molded into looking at things a different way, then you see things change right before your eyes.
Okay. That's hey, I had to write that one down. But got something, we're running out of time, but I got something right here for the people that if y'all know about this right here, this right here is this right here is going down on November the 4th, and this is the annual Northwest Classic Ranger Reebok game, November the 4th.
We're doing it live.
Hey, and we got
Live.
Hey, and we gonna be doing some marketing there. And one of the things I'm working on two things. And Skilly, you can help me out with this too. Because one of the things first thing I'm doing is either that Thursday or that Friday. They might end up being that Friday because I know where I can do it at that Friday. But either that Thursday or Friday, I'm going to be doing the show live from Duval. So the Daily Bread Radio Show is going to be on the road in Duval County doing the Daily Bread Radio Show from Jacksonville. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. I need to get some contacts over at Brains and Ribault High School because one of the things I want to do is I want to coordinate with their leadership at both of those schools and for their graduating seniors, not the juniors, not the sophomores, not the freshmen, the graduating seniors, the ones that are getting ready to graduate and go to college. I want to give them a free copy of my book, My College Finance, that talks all about personal finance and the basics of personal finance. I want to give them a free copy. And the only thing that they have to do is be willing to put up the, I guess you would say the funding for the shipping and handling. That's it. I think that's a good deal. I think that's more than fair. So when I'm down that week and maybe try to come down like that Thursday so that way maybe I can get in touch with some of those administrators. But if you know some of my colleagues or classmates or friends that are in that space, if you feel like they can help us out, then definitely, have them to reach out to me because like I said, I want to give the books away to them. I'm going to give them the books, but they got to pay the shipping and handling. So if they can't pay the shipping and handling, then I think I'm going to be looking towards somebody like yourself. Then we're going to have to raise some money to get these books in these students' hands because we can't just be talking about it. We got to be proactive. So I know you called in. Now you went from getting the magazine to you possibly might be on the hook for paying them shipping and handling. So see how that works. If you look, when you change the way that you see things, the way you see things change. How about that?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Right about now, I'm seeing my pockets getting fat.
All right, I'm gonna put you on for some of that shipping and handling, and we're gonna get them books to those students, those graduating seniors, because I think that's the least that we can do is, because once we moved up the road, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna text you my email address. And that's make it happen.
Okay.
Make it happen.
All right, let's do it.
And we'll hook up. I'm getting ready to fly out next week to go on vacation.
Okay.
And we'll hook up when I come back in time.
Oh, for sure. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the support.
Okay. Hey, man. Be blessed. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Hey, can't stop.
Guys are listening.
Can't stop, man. Can't stop. This is 24. Appreciate you. All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace. So that brings us to the top of the show. Wanda Tuck, I see you. I had a ball celebrating with you all last week, and I'm taking the show on the road. My next episode. Listen to this now. The next episode, the next time that you see me live in the studio will be my 25th show. This is going to be 25. 25 now. And like we talked about at the beginning of the show, 25 may not seem like a lot. But if your heart was to stop for 25 seconds, that would be a lot. Or if it stopped for 25 minutes, that would be more than a lot. So 25, it has a certain amount of significance. If you've been married 25 years, that's a long 25 may not seem like a lot, but that's a lot. 25. So I'm going to be celebrating 25 episodes of the Daily Bread Radio Show, 25 episodes of God pouring through me, and I'm giving it to you all and having some fun in the process. 25 years of just living, the dream, making this dream come to life. Because this is just the beginning. This right here is just it's not even in its infancy. This is like when the egg and the sperm come. This that part. So we still got to grow.
Give them some breaking news.
Some breaking news.
Anything.
Huh?
Give them some breaking news. Anything.
Hey, we got some breaking news.
What is it?
Hey man, if you know a good producer, cause I got a producer, he just want to play with the sounds and stuff. He talking about we got some breaking news. I'm thinking something that happened, and he talking about come up with something. So,
We just did 20.
Captain, hey, no problem. I appreciate you listening. make sure that you all pass this information on, because the other thing I'm trying to do is grow my listening audience to 1,000. Right now I'm at 600. I think I'm 605, 670. Trying to get to 1,000. And then because after 1,000, I can get to 10,000. Because the more people I can touch, the more things I can do, and the more fun we can have, and the more people we can turn on to some good information. So we've reached the end of the show. I want to thank everybody that called in. I want to thank everybody that was listening to the show. Make sure that you take some action on these topics. Don't listen to the show. I appreciate it. So don't get me wrong. When I say I want you to call, I want you to listen, I want you to take notes, but I also want you to take action. I want you to start acting on these things that we're talking about. So we talked about the proposed tax bill that was in the New York Times. You can Google that. Just Google it. See where you fit in at. If you don't have a business, start a business. If you have a business, you still need to read through that so that way you can see how you can take advantages of those new tax cuts, proposed tax cuts, before they go into law. We talked about Derek Jeter purchasing the Miami Marlins and how you really have to create and come from a strong financial position in order to take advantage of huge opportunities. We gave away a free subscription to Kathy Sterling. Won the subscription for 2018. Her and Aquila. We're going to give Aquila from Brooklyn. We're going to give her a copy as well. So we had 2 winners tonight. Free subscription to Kiplinger Personal Finance Magazine. So that way they can start to dream big dreams for 2018. And then we talked about jokes. When are jokes not funny? So we want to make sure that we do that. Definitely want to thank everyone that called in this evening, everyone that supports the show, everybody that talks about the show, mentions the show, likes the show, subscribes to the show. Whatever you do, we appreciate it. So we got some more big things that are coming out. If it wasn't for you, wouldn't be able to do it. So we want to close out the show, and we're gonna get back to the basics. So now, the way that I started off closing my show, we're gonna go back to that. So with that being said, we're gonna be playing the Commodores, and I want to thank you all. And we're just gonna listen to a little bit of this before we, sign off for the evening, because this right here, man, this right here is what it's about.